The political shift at Downing Street, real progress or just the same agenda with a different face? Welcome to Britain Underneath, where we look far beyond the polished speeches and examine the true mechanics of British power. Please pause for a moment, take a breath and subscribe to the channel right now. It genuinely helps us continue bringing you serious, independent coverage of our political landscape. Now, let us dive straight into the growing friction surrounding the new administration.
So what is that change? I did talk about the need to change Labour in this campaign, and we've got to now take this moment to answer the challenges that have been laid down. I did describe it last night as a last chance to change, and I think that's how people here kind of saw it when I was talking to them on the doorsteps, and they said, well, Andy, maybe we can give you our support this time, but you know it's not a blank cheque, it's not ongoing. You have to respond to what people here are saying. You have to do something to make life more affordable, to put more money in people's pockets, to give people more breathing space again so that they can have a better life. That's what people were saying, and we must respond to that. We need an economy that works for everybody, not a few in far off places from here, but an economy that works for people right here. We do need to bring down water bills, energy bills, rail fares, just as we've brought down bus fares in Greater Manchester to make life more affordable for people. We do need an end to trickle-down economics, which didn't trickle down very much at all to places like this. We want to see a new drive of reindustrialisation across the north of England and indeed the rest of the country, and big change in Whitehall if that is to happen. And I'm talking about public procurement. It's about time we started backing British business and British industry so that we can reindustrialise places like this. And yes, let's change the education system so that young people growing up here have clear paths into that new industry. No more an education system dominated by the university route, but an education system that offers a path for everybody, academic and technical, in equal balance. That's what we need if we are to change this. And when I say change to public procurement, as a result of using the power of it, get more work placements for people, a guarantee of a work placement for every 16 to 18-year-old who wants one, the guarantee of an apprenticeship. These are the kind of changes that we need if we are to give hope to young people growing up in this part of the world. And yet, a change too from the Home Office. I heard on so many doorsteps people's concerns about the unfairness of the immigration system, that cut price approach to procurement that means areas like this can end up like HMO Britain. It's not fair that they think that they can just operate like that and not hear the call of people here, the decent people here, who always will do the right thing, the compassionate thing, but not when it's unfair in terms of the way places like this are treated. These are the calls that we've got to hear, and this is the change that we've got to bring. And I say it again, it is our last chance to change, but we're going to take it, aren't we? We are going to take that opportunity, and we are going to lay out a new path for Britain. The one thing, the best thing that we can say about
The leadership in Westminster may have changed, but the fundamental challenges facing the United Kingdom remain as persistent as ever. With Andy Burnham officially stepping into number 10 following the exit of Sir Keir Starmer, the public was promised a fresh start, a recalibration of government priorities, and a genuinely new direction for the nation. Yet, barely days into this new era, quiet frustration is already mounting across the political spectrum. Critics are openly asking whether this transition represents a genuine shift in policy or simply a rebranding of the very same political playbook.
For me, to be here with you all in the heart of Manchester this Friday morning at the end of, a fairly big week is just everything to me, because it's almost exactly 35 years since I left this city as a recently graduated young man, couldn't find a job in the city. It was in a pretty bad place at that time, it's fair to say. This is because the 80s had turned into the 90s. Yeah, there wasn't much. And that really is an experience that I've never forgotten. My generation of people growing up here, and it's true of places all over the country, to get on in life, you had to leave where you were because things weren't here. And the country's always been a little like that, hasn't it? That opportunity has not been evenly spread around the country, and not all places have felt that they're part of the national story. And that is what this government is going to work every single day to change. And that is what Number 10 North is all about. Putting power in every postcode so that people can turn things around for themselves and make changes, just as this great city has done and the other English cities are doing through devolution. Turning things round because of that ability to be able to do more for themselves. And it's also about getting the whole country facing the same way and then pulling in the same direction. That, I think, is what Number 10 North can achieve. It's felt a little at times that local government's just been a bit forgotten and places aren't able to do what they want to do. But then at the sort of city level or the regional level, sometimes it's felt like an argument with people in the centre of government and people having a to and fro all of the time. Just imagine if we were all working together as one team, pulling the same way and making the change happen for people and places. I think we can do that. In fact, I feel we've got to do that. If we want to take Britain from where it is right now, and I think we all have a feeling that it's not fully where it should be right now, if we want to get it back to where it should be, it's got to be about that one team feeling. All of the places around the UK and all of our regions and all of our nations, because Number 10 North is as much for Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland as it is for the regions of England. If we get that feeling, then I think so much is possible that doesn't feel possible right.
Consider the initial official address delivered from Downing Street. While the nation tuned in expecting to hear concrete strategy on core national issues, the strategic omissions were striking. Key topics that consistently rank at the top of voter concerns, such as long-term border management, economic stabilisation, and public sector pressures, were largely absent from the core message. Instead, the focus remained carefully curated to avoid internal party disputes. When a national leader appears more focused on maintaining equilibrium among backbench factions than directly addressing the primary concerns of the electorate, confidence quickly begins to erode. To truly understand what is unfolding across the country, it is essential to look at the broader political culture. We are currently witnessing an era where rapid commentary often precedes verified facts. When public figures make swift declarations before official agencies complete their standard investigations, it damages the credibility of our governing institutions. Whether the issue is public safety, localized tensions, or national security, the public deserves deliberate, measured leadership, rather than reactionary statements tailored for immediate news cycles.
Here we go. Are you ready? Oh, here we go. Angela Rayner is made the Housing Communities Local Government Secretary. The job she wanted, she's keeping. She's back in the job she lost last September over her tax affairs. Jonathan Reynolds, the former government chief whip, he's back at the job he had. He's the Business Innovation, Science and Trade Secretary. Lucy Powell, Labour's deputy leader, elected deputy leader, supported Andy Burnham back into government, back into as the MP of Makerfield. She is now the Education Secretary. Annalise Midgley, she's the Chief Whip and she'll be a member of the Cabinet as we forecast at GB News. Bridget Phillipson loses her job as Education Secretary but remains as Women's and Equalities Secretary, reporting to the Prime Minister. Peter Kyle, Steve Reid Liz Kendall have left the government. So we have some clarification on those roles, but a lot more. I make it another 10 Labour figures are in the room behind me without a job. We have now got 5 more jobs appointed. Just to recap briefly for the listeners and of GB News Radio and GB News viewers, Angela Rayner, Housing, Communities, Local Government. She got the job that she resigned from in September last year. Jonathan Reynolds, back as Business, Innovation, Science and Trade. That's back at the role he had when he secured those post-Brexit deals before he's moved to be Chief Whip last September. Lucy Powell, she's in as the Education Secretary, replacing Bridget Phillipson, who loses one of her roles. She's now simply the Women's and Equalities Secretary. Annalise Midgley in as Chief Whip, and also that's where we are. Yes, Lucy Powell. And then Peter Kyle out of the government, Steve Reid also out, and Liz Kendall. We knew all that. So gradually we're getting there. The shape of this government is becoming more clear. What's interesting here is Angela Rayner got the job she wanted. It shows the power Angela Rayner has, even as a backbench MP. She's got the job back. She lost her job, of course, last September. That is fascinating. And also Jonathan Reynolds back in the cabinet.
This brings us to a broader question about how political priorities are set in modern Britain. For millions of citizens, the primary expectation of any government is total transparency, consistency, and a firm commitment to the public interest above party preservation. Yet, when political strategies appear designed to placate internal interest groups rather than deliver broad national solutions, the disconnect between Westminster and the rest of the country deepens. The pressure on this administration is intensifying rapidly. Maintaining party unity is an essential aspect of parliamentary governance, but doing so at the expense of addressing core national priorities is a strategy fraught with risk. If the current leadership continues to sidestep crucial policy debates to avoid internal conflict, it risks creating the exact same conditions that led to the unravelling of previous governments. Please take a moment to subscribe to Britain Underneath, hit the notification bell, and stay informed on everything shaping our country. Engaging with the content directly supports our work and ensures we can keep delivering clear, objective commentary. As we evaluate this new political chapter, the key issue is clear. Leadership requires more than a change of tone or a different accent at the podium. It demands a willingness to confront difficult realities, enforce consistency across all levels of government, and prioritise the fundamental concerns of the British public above internal party management. Whether this administration can adapt before public patience runs out remains to be seen. Thank you for watching Britain Underneath. Stay informed, stay sharp, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss our next detailed look into the true state of British politics.